I wanted to add a little bit more context to the Teddy B retiring video that I just put out. It was a live video. And that's because I missed a very, very important quote that he said about this Detroit Lions team that should have us all excited. And and I think it kind of speaks volumes to what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, are doing and the culture they're putting together. And I've spoken about the culture and how, I love the culture and what they're representing and what they're doing. But at the same time, we need to get those guys in there that just are a little bit more gruff or rough around the edges that only care about playing dominating football. And I think you can have both. I think they both exist. I really do. But we've all had our questions this season about, are we too soft? And can they really, get out there and play in these rough games? Can they get out there and bully the other side and still be a humble human being, when they're done at the end of the game? And I'd say the answer is yes. I think they can. I just think that they've lost their way since the Ravens game. And that's why a lot of us are calling into question, what's going on inside the locker room and what's going on, with this team and this culture and how does it make sense? But Teddy said something in this ESPN article, which I'm going to post in both of the video and the live feed descriptions. So he says, everyone sees the wins and losses, and it's the small victories, the daily victories that take place in this locker room. You talk about a team that is young, quick to run to their phones after practice, after games, and you see guys like mingling and just having conversations. Ping pong, card table, cornhole, guys sitting on the couch, like that's what it's about. That's the league I came into. And I'm happy that I get to just see and be part of this great locker room. I'm a little confused by the whole run to the phones part of it. But I certainly understand, that after the practice, after the games, the guys are hanging out together and they're just dudes being dudes, guys being guys, men being men, just doing what we do. It's one giant man cave inside that locker room. And that's great to hear that the guys stick together. They don't just, leave the facility, right away and tend to their own things. They stick together. They're trying to build that unity and become one inside this locker room. And of course, being one on the football field is probably the biggest moment you can get to as a team. When you start operating as one, everything gets easier. And man, they can play, with the hair on fire at that point. So I wanted to touch base on this because it's been a few weeks now that a lot of us have had a few questions and have doubted a few things. Maybe we shouldn't be. Maybe we just need to let this play out a little bit longer and relax. Those famous words by Aaron Rodgers, just relax a little bit. So I'm going to stay relaxed today. No matter what happens, I'm going to stay relaxed and let this play out. At the end of the day, do I feel like we have a Super Bowl winning team? I don't. And that's only based on the stats and what the stats have said for 30 years or longer. But that doesn't mean they can't be first, right? I mean, it doesn't mean that records are not there to be broken or stats are not there to be broken, because they are. The one thing that I do know for sure, at least in my own opinion, is that this team is head and shoulders above where it was in 2020. We're talking a team that players wanted to leave in mass exodus form and had so many negative things to say about the culture, about the coaches, especially the head coach. As soon as they left, players wanted to quit and not even play football. They quit on the football field. So there is a huge difference, and we saw it last season. You start a season 1-6 and you're still fighting and you're still scrapping. And a lot of that is because of their head coach, Dan Campbell, and what he means to them and how they believed and they bought into everything that he's about and what he's trying to instill into them. And Teddy B just confirmed that that's what's happening currently in this Detroit Lions locker room. So I think that it should give everybody a little bit of a breath of fresh air and utilize those words, relax just a little bit today, and let the season be what it's supposed to be. I know every single one of us wants a Super Bowl quickly, and we want to, appreciate and enjoy going to the playoffs and being part of, that eclectic crowd in the NFL that has something positive to say about their team. We have a ton of positives to say about our team. We really do. And I think that this season, whenever it ends, is going to be a positive. So the little wins that Teddy B speaks about, we've seen a ton. We're ready for the big ones, but we'll get there. And the season's not over yet. So stick around, 8:15 tonight, Lions and Broncos. It's going to be a big clash of the Titans, as I've called it. You've got the mentor versus the student, the teacher versus the student, however you want to call it. It's Sean Payton versus Dan Campbell tonight, and we're hoping that the little grasshopper wins in this matchup. And Dan flexes his muscle and shows the NFL what he's all about. Tonight's that night. This is the game, and it's going to be a big one. So we'll see y'all tonight. Go One Pride. Go Detroit Lions. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.